Security and immigration are to play a central role as France takes over the rotating EU presidency. France has made harmonising the bloc's immigration policy the priority of its 6-month EU stewardship and wants the leaders of the 27 nations to adopt officially the European Pact on Immigration and Asylum in October. Under the proposals, European Union leaders are to pledge to boost the fight against illegal migration, expel more illegal migrants and confirm commitments for a common asylum policy by 2010. However, outside the EU, the new moves have been slammed. Argentine President Cristina Fernández said the law recalled times of xenophobia.
The only way to move the immigration debate forward is to remove any ulterior political motives. And as countries with different ideas on the subject are working together, it shows that we don't want Fortress Europe.
Neither a fortress nor a sieve. That appears to be the happy medium Europe is looking for. Some European states badly need legal migrants to fill holes in the job market. Germany has eased entry restrictions on highly skilled workers from the 2004 EU intake, mostly former communist states, while keeping restrictions in place for those with lesser skills. Initially, France wanted a ban on mass regularisations, something Spain would not agree to, after its regularisation of 700,000 illegal immigrants in 2005. With the new legislation once approved by the Council, the EU will have more power to decide who and who cannot enter an individual member state.
The Pact is in place not to feed fears. The Pact has been made to organise immigration management. There is a dialogue between the French presidency and the Commission. The Commission has already made a presentation dealing with all these problems from a broad perspective, with the emphasis on a partnership with third countries, the origin of the migrants. I think here we are moving towards a strategy that is a real European strategy, and laws must be prepared to include the harmonisation of asylum procedures, the definition of refugees, and provide protection to migrants.
According to the EU, at least 8 million illegal migrants live in the Union. 200,000 have been arrested in the first half of 2007, 90,000 deported. Yet thousands continue to attempt to enter Europe illegally, driven by desperation, and this worries European nationals. The Immigration Pact is designed to calm public fears and make it possible for member states to bring in migrant workers to fill holes in the marketplace.
This is one of the greatest threats to Europe if we don't address this issue in a serious and responsible manner. We must be firm, absolutely firm on illegal immigration. At the same time, we must be supportive to those migrants who want to contribute to the development of Europe.
Individual European governments are concerned by the domestic instability caused by the fear of immigration, as this Belgian lawyer who specialises in asylum cases makes clear.
In the absence of a clear policy on immigration, where we define the rules of the game, there's only one alternative: imprisonment and deportation. These are there to prevent a move to the right, to stop people looking to non-democratic parties for protection. This is a mistake.
Across Europe, more and more immigrants are perceived, rightly or wrongly, as sources of crime and terrorism. And Europe's leaders are now ready to crack down on illegal migrants in an attempt to stop the drift to the far-right parties that are on the up. The Return Directive, approved by the European Parliament, will give member states the power to detain migrants in special centres for longer periods. But on the streets, legal migrants have to run the gauntlet of discrimination and xenophobia.
In many cases by relevant to some of the ongoing conflicts, particularly with Iraq and Afghanistan.
We must not confuse things. Immigration is an extremely complex problem. There's legal immigration, illegal immigration, which may involve organised crime and trafficking. That in itself is a problem that calls for specific policies. Terrorism is difficult enough without added complications.
The European Union wants security for its citizens and believes illegal immigration, crime and terrorism can be dealt with by legislation. The Union must be able to counter all manner of threats to protect its citizens, says the Director General for Defence of the Council of the European Union.
There are two routes, a direct route to ensure security and an indirect route. A European defence policy can contribute to both. We must work towards calming wider world tensions, then people can live safely at home. That in itself reduces the type and number of threats. There's less terrorism, less need for people to risk illegal immigration.
The launch of Sarkozy's Mediterranean Union, which pledges cooperation on water, energy and education, also aims to promote economic development in the poorer, more unstable countries to reduce the migratory pressures from North Africa to Europe. The French president believes the 43-nation union will be able to identify the causes of illegal migration in the country of origin.
It's not possible for the problem of immigration to be solved by the northern or southern states alone. It requires cooperation, shared development. We will try to reduce poverty, raise the standard of living. That's to say, create the conditions in which people can live at home in comfort and not misery.
The causes of migration are instability and poverty in the south, coupled with the need for cheap labour in the north. The EU and third countries need a mobile workforce, and the Mediterranean Union is designed to create the conditions in which this movement can be achieved safely and humanely.